You know, it is difficult for me as a Muslim, and in these days, to tell you that Islam is all about peace. When so much of misconceptions about Islam have been written by others in the mass media, and the often incorrect labeling of captions which do not speak correctly of the faith. Radical Islam, fundamentalist Islam, militant Islam, and so on. In addition, we also read day in and day out about how Muslims in many parts of the world are far from being at peace. But as in all religions, it is important for fair-minded people to make a distinction between the teachings of a religion and the behavior of its adherents. Islam does not condone any form of extremism and fanaticism by anyone, either in doctrine, formalism, or actions. What more, if such mindsets and excessive modes of behavior deny others the right to live the lives they choose. Islam extols its adherents to be men and women of moderation, of reason. What is described in the Quran as ummatun wasata, meaning the people who follows the middle path or the middle way. Another well-known dictum of the Muslim faith is also laid out clearly in the Quran: let there be no compulsion in religion. La ikraha fid din. This is in Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter 2, verse 256. Such was the message not only continuously reiterated by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, but by all earlier Muslim prophets and messengers, from Abraham to Moses to Jesus, may peace be upon them all. In Islam, people, any people anywhere, are allowed to believe or not to believe, and they are all accountable for their own actions. It is important, ladies and gentlemen, that peoples of differing beliefs adopt certain norms of conduct, because we are, after all, living not alone, but within communities collectively called a society, domestically and internationally. As such, without some mutually agreed rules of behavior, there may be anarchy, chaos, instability, and human life may become debased and ungovernable. However, even in cases where such common standards of conduct are still not possible, it is still imperative that we all agree to disagree and do so peacefully. To conclude, let us again call upon all peoples here in Singapore and everywhere to speak the universal language which is at the core of all religions, the language of love, of peace, of humility and understanding. While we continue to adhere to our own religious beliefs, and we have all the right to do so, we should pass on the message that there is a place in the sun for everyone. A plural world of different peoples, different religions, even different colors, may be a difficult and challenging world to live in. But plurality and diversity, judiciously approached, far from being a liability, can actually be an asset for us all to treasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mutali. I now call upon Dr. Mirvan Singh to address the theme from the perspective of Sikhism.
cannot address individually the families or children or the guest of honor, but simply respected sisters and brothers. They too are sisters and brothers. I am a Sikh, which means student, and I am learning about religion from you. That is how my great teacher Guru Nanak wanted me to be. 500 years is a short period. Sikhism recognizes all other religions as path to the attainment of God. It does not claim to be the only way, as some may do, some religions do. Guru Nanak had with him throughout his travels a Hindu Bala and a Muslim minister Mardana. Similarly, the scriptures of the Sikhs not only contain compositions of the Gurus, but also those of certain Muslim and Hindu saints. And the Hindu saints included both high and low castes. The extent of the Sikhism, as expected by the Gurus, can be realized from the travels of Guru Nanak from Punjab to Nepal, from Punjab to Sri Lanka, from Punjab to Assam and Bengal, and Baghdad and Makkah in the west. The ninth Guru, Tegh Bahadur, also went to Assam and Bengal in the east. Guru Gobind Singh was born in Patna, 1,000 miles away from the Punjab. His ministerial work was in the Punjab, and he died 1,000 miles away in the south, Nanded, Hyderabad, Patna. The present diaspora of Sikhs can well be understood from these travels. The Sikhs communicate with all other communities comfortably and are able to keep the unity. They do not go out to convert other people. Proselytization is foreign to them, as they were trained for free movement in the midst of different racial and religious communities. They did so successfully, whether they settled in America, in Europe, in Africa, in Australia. Recent estimates put the Sikhs at 12 million in the Punjab and 12 million outside the Punjab, in India and elsewhere. The struggle of the Sikhs under the British continued for the freedom of the Gurudwaras. At present, the Sikh temples are managed by the Sikh community without hereditary control. In Singapore, there are 9 temples, all managed by elected committees. The basic creed of the Sikhs is one God, whose divine attributes are contained in the Mool Mantra, which is placed at the beginning of the Guru Granth Sahib, the Holy Book. It reads, Ek Omkar Satnam Kartapur Nirbhav Nirvair Akal Murad Ajuni Sevan Gur Prarsad. And it means unity in God, Supreme Truth, the Creator, fearless, hateless, timeless, spaceless, not born, nor dies to be reborn, self-existing. The true Sikh keeps these attributes of God in mind. All human beings are equal and all experiences of pleasure and pain are the same to him. The ideal of the Spirit of God develops an integrated personality. As God is healer and without aid, so is the sick. The sick remains humble, attributing his success to God's guidance and generosity. The Granth Sahib lays the path for the sick to follow through the different stages of development. He begins with righteous deeds, being God's instrument in the service of mankind. He tries to acquire divine knowledge by truthful living and disseminating such knowledge where possible. He remembers God's will in day-to-day life. He maintains a link with God while performing worldly activities for human existence. He attains spiritual and